Good morning. My name is Specialist Coleman. Today, I will be giving a brief on leadership development, and this brief is unclassified. Today, on the agenda, I have the introduction, which I will be talking about how the Army views leadership development and how the leaders should view their leadership development. Next, I have leadership schools. This talks about how the Army has various schools in place on teaching their leaders how to be leaders and what is expected from them at each step. Next, I have leaders development leaders. This means that it isn't just a responsibility of the leadership schools to develop their subordinates into good leaders, but it's also the responsibility of their current leaders. Next, I have leaders self-develop. This talks about how leaders develop themselves as well as their soldiers, since they want to ensure that they are good leaders and are always progressing and getting better. Finally, I will have my conclusion, and that's followed by some questions. So please hold your questions until the end. I have 2 paragraphs on my introduction page. The first one is, the Army strives to have leaders who are not only prepared for their current position, but are also prepared for their next level of responsibilities as well. This means that the leaders aren't only focused on their current position, but the next one as well, to ensure that if their superior isn't there for any reason, that they are prepared and ready to step into that role and have the mission still go as effectively as if the leader was there. Next, I have leader development is a process that entails training and experiences that prepare leaders to exercise mission command and accomplish unified land operations. This means that leaders use their training and experiences to get better and become better leaders, so that when they exercise mission command and need to accomplish a mission, it's done effectively. My first topic is on leadership schools. The Army has various leadership schools in place to attend for every level of leadership. This is because every level of leadership requires something different from the leader. That means that the schools teach you what is expected from you for that level that you are expected to go to, and that they show you what to do and what not to do, and what the Army expects from you from that level. That goes along with being ready for the new position, which is my next bullet, which the Army ensures that you are ready for the next step because they give you all the tools you need for the next step. Next is learn essential aspects of leadership. This means that the Army teaches you how to be a leader and what they expect from you when you are a leader in that stage. Next, I have use or learn leadership skills. That is to ensure that the leadership skills that you learn from that school, that you put them in place when you are dealing with your subordinates and in the actual job, in the actual position. Lastly, I have learned the leadership requirements model. This means that this is a model that ensures that leaders know how to be a leader and what's expected from them as a leader. And this is important for any level of leadership to make sure that you are doing your job the right way. My next topic is leaders develop leaders. This means that leaders aren't only being developed through schools, but through the leaders that they have in the units as well. They do this by instilling the correct competencies into their subordinates. This is important because the subordinates need to know what they should and should not be doing and what is expected from them, even as a follower, which will also make them a good leader. That goes on with teaching them the soldiers the leadership requirements model, because when you teach them that, they will know what's expected from them as a leader, since they will need to lead themselves as well, so that their leader doesn't have to be there micromanaging them all the time, and that they can trust that they can trust that the mission will get accomplished either way. Next, I have giving access to advanced training. This means that they give their soldiers access to training that they might not know they had access to. So giving them more training and more resources will help them in the long run. Lastly, on this slide, I have mentoring and critiquing subordinates. This means helping them learn from their mistakes. So if they have any questions or anything like that, you let them know, like, you did this good, you did this bad, basically helping them become the leader that they want to be or that they should be. Next, I have leaders self-develop. This is the point because leaders should always be improving and becoming better leaders, not just for their subordinates, but for themselves, so that they know that they are doing the right thing and helping the subordinates the best they can. This is my first bullet on this slide is learn to be open-minded, so that you can respond to feedback from all sides. That means from your superiors to your peers to the subordinates, so that no matter what, you can digest what they are telling you and make it into something good, whether it's good or bad. That goes along with accepting feedback from all sides, like I just said, so that no matter what the topic is that you are doing or what they are talking about, you can get the best out of that situation. Next, I have recognizing known strengths and weaknesses. That goes alongside with feedback. So whenever someone gives you feedback on what you're doing good or bad, you can improve on your weaknesses and work on your strengths even more to get better at it. Next, I have leaders develop with their soldiers. This is so the leaders aren't just developing their soldiers, but themselves, so that they still become better leaders and keep working on themselves. Next, I have a strong focus on effective listening. This because this all goes along with feedback and being open-minded. So if you're being an effective listener, you can digest what is being told to you the best way and utilizing it in the best way possible. Now, my conclusion page, I have developing leaders is essential for the future of the Army, which is true because the Army is always improving and getting better, so does its leaders. Next, I have everyone plays a part in developing effective leaders. This is what I was talking about on the self-developing side, where the subordinates and peers help you just as much as your superiors do when it comes to developing. And next is self-development is important at every level of leadership, which I just talked about. That it is important that you develop yourself so that you know your strengths and weaknesses and you get better. Now, are there any questions for me? No? Well, this concludes my brief.